Grammy Award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk is facing new charges in a murder-for-hire plot.
I decided I had to finish, but the media called me a menace.
Lil Durk, whose real name is Dirk Banks, is facing 2 additional felony charges, including conspiracy. He's accused of conspiring with others to murder a rival rapper in Los Angeles in 2022, but the shooters missed their intended target and killed someone else. 5 other people are also facing charges, 4 of whom are from the Chicago area.
Can you picture this? Lil Durk, a titan of Chicago's rap scene and one of the most influential voices of his generation, suddenly finds himself shackled behind bars, accused of orchestrating a murder-for-hire plot. A man who once poured his life's pain into lyrics and climbed to international fame is now fighting for his freedom in one of the most high-stakes federal cases in recent memory. It all unraveled on a crisp October day in 2024, when federal agents arrested Durk at the airport just as he was about to board a private jet bound for Italy, a flight that was meant to be another step in his global rise, but instead became the beginning of his darkest chapter.
Chicago rapper Lil Durk faces 3 new federal charges in connection to a deadly shooting in Los Angeles in August of 2022. The Grammy Award-winning rapper, whose legal name is Dirk Banks, is charged along with 5 alleged co-conspirators in a murder-for-hire plot.
Federal prosecutors say this is no ordinary rap beef gone wrong. According to the indictment, Durk allegedly conspired with 5 associates to carry out a deadly hit on rival rapper Quando Rondo, a Georgia-based artist caught in a feud with Durk. That dates back to the tragic death of King Von, one of Durk's closest friends. Prosecutors claim that Durk didn't just order the hit.
Prosecutors say he masterminded a plot to kill Chicago rapper Quando Rondo at a Los Angeles gas station, but Rondo's cousin was killed instead. According to the FBI, the hit was in retaliation for the murder of another Chicago rapper, King Von, in 2020. Lil Durk remains in federal custody in Miami, where he was arrested last month.
He financed it, tracked the movements of his co-conspirators, and carefully planned every detail to make it happen. But the plan failed in a way no one expected. Quando Rondo survived, but his cousin Savia Lab Robinson was killed instead. That innocent man's life was stolen in cold blood in front of a Los Angeles gas station in broad daylight. A moment captured by surveillance cameras and now central to the federal case against Durk.
We're covering some other news that has just come to our attention. This is according to the FBI. I want to pull up a tweet that we have as well. So Grammy award-winning Chicago rapper Lil Durk has been charged in a superseding indictment alleging murder-for-hire plot to kill a rival near the Beverly Center shopping mall in Los Angeles in August of 2022. So, of course, we do know that Lil Durk has been behind bars, I should say, for some time now. This is all having to do with he's accused of hiring to kill rival rapper Quando Rondo. This is, again, back in August of 2022. So to bring in...
Behind closed doors, the courtroom is a battleground. The prosecution's star witness, a former associate of Durk's, has taken the stand, recounting moments that send chills through the room. She describes phone calls, coded messages, and meetings where orders were given. Her voice shakes as she reveals how Durk's team bought last-minute one-way plane tickets for the hitmen to travel from Chicago to California, all carefully booked, to avoid tracing. "Don't book no flights under no names involved with me," Durk allegedly texted one co-conspirator, a message prosecutors say is a smoking gun of self-incrimination.
Again, we just got this update today, 2 new charges in this federal case. What are your thoughts initially as you saw that update come out?
Really nothing new in the indictment. This is just the feds getting ready for him to come back to Los Angeles and giving him co-defendants in the indictment. He was arrested on a complaint.
Then there's the podcast footage, a seemingly innocent music promo that unexpectedly became a key piece of evidence. The video shows Durk at a Los Angeles home just one day before the murder, placing him exactly where prosecutors need him to be. Defense attorneys scramble to explain away the timing and argue that Durk's presence was purely professional. But the prosecution's timeline is tight, and the video is just one thread in a web of incriminating evidence, including bank statements, flight records, and intercepted communications.
So it would be totally standard for them to then go and seek a grand jury indictment. And actually, his co-defendants were arrested on a grand jury indictment a few weeks ago, but the indictment actually didn't name.
Durk's defense team paints a different picture. They portray him as a victim of circumstance, a superstar trying to distance himself from the violent street politics that shaped his early life. They argue the evidence is circumstantial and that rival factions are trying to frame Durk to take him down. But with each new revelation, the courtroom drama intensifies and public opinion grows divided.
And again, this one is interesting because there are also 6 other defendants in this case as well. And on social media, the case and just the conversation about this stems back to November of 2020. This is when one of the other people on his record label, I should say rapper King Von, was killed. This is after he got into a fight with Quando Rondo. So this case that's as it's coming out and we're learning more details has been in the works for a long time because again, the original issue stemmed from 4 years ago now at this point.
Adding fuel to the fire is the depiction of The Family, Durk's Chicago-based collective. Prosecutors argue it's not just a music crew, but a structured criminal organization involved in shootings, assaults, and intimidation to maintain power. This allegation turns the case into more than just a dispute between rappers. It suggests a deeply rooted network of violence operating under Durk's direction. Courtroom sketches show Durk listening intently as prosecutors outline their case, his face a mix of defiance and exhaustion.
Yes, this was a long time coming, and you can tell there was a really long investigation into this. And just based on the indictment, the surveillance images that the federal prosecutors have released, it sounds like they have built quite a case here, and they're definitely ready for it to be in court.
Meanwhile, the delay of the trial from January to October 2025 has only heightened tensions. Both sides need time, the prosecution to build an airtight case, the defense to find cracks and protect their client. But for Durk, every day behind bars is a blow to his freedom and legacy. Supporters rally outside the courthouse, holding signs and chanting, while critics demand justice for Savia Robinson and his family.
So I do want to read off some additional charges that we do know that the FBI has now charged Lil Durk with. This is 1 count of conspiracy, 1 count of interstate facilities to commit murder for hire resulting in death, 1 count of using, carrying, and discharging firearms and a machine gun.
As this legal battle unfolds, the stakes couldn't be higher. Lil Durk's fate will not only decide the course of one man's life, but send ripples throughout the music industry and communities caught in the crossfire of street violence and fame. This case forces us to ask hard questions about loyalty, power, and consequences in a world where music and real-life violence dangerously collide.
And possession of such firearms, furtherance of a crime of violence resulting in death. So we should also note that in this case, it wasn't actually the rapper Quando Rondo who was injured. It was a friend of his who was shot and killed in this as well. So when you're talking about the implications of this and going forward,
the final verdict remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. This story is far from over. Will Lil Durk walk free and clear his name, or will he face a lifetime behind bars? As the courtroom doors close each day, the world waits, watching every move, every testimony, and every revelation, knowing that when the dust settles, nothing will ever be the same again.
With these charges, do you see where he's going to end up with the federal government in this case? Obviously, we do know Young Thug just beat some of his charges in his case, but that was a state case. This is a completely different ballgame here.
The delay of Lil Durk's trial from January to October 2025 has only added fuel to the fire, intensifying an already explosive situation. Both the prosecution and the defense have agreed that more time is needed. The prosecutors are working tirelessly to build a rock-solid case, gathering evidence and tightening every piece of the puzzle to ensure their argument is airtight. On the other side, Durk's defense team is digging deep, searching for even the smallest cracks to protect their client and dismantle the government's narrative.
Yeah, and Young Thug didn't beat his charges. He actually pleaded guilty and no contest and is now on probation for 15 years. So I don't think, and if he violates it, he's going to go to prison for 20.
But while the legal teams prepare for the long battle ahead, every single day that Lil Durk spends behind bars is another blow, an attack on his freedom, his career, and the legacy he has spent years building. Outside the courthouse, emotions run high. Supporters rally with passion, waving signs, chanting his name, standing firm in their belief that he deserves justice, or at least a fair chance to prove his innocence. But just as loud are the voices of critics and grieving families, demanding justice for Savia Robinson, the innocent victim caught in the deadly crossfire, and his family who has suffered a heartbreaking loss. This legal drama unfolding in the courtroom isn't just about one man's fate. It has become a seismic event sending shockwaves through the entire music industry and communities torn apart by street violence. The stakes are enormous, and the questions raised go beyond just this trial. What happens when the worlds of fame, loyalty, and violent street politics collide? How far can power and influence protect someone, and when do consequences catch up, no matter who you are?